Sooner Scoop HD.
We talked at halftime. I know I'm going to get asked that question, so I'll just go right at it. Mitchell was a focus for us, and he had 16 points. I don't think we were up into him enough. And we really talked at halftime, man. We got to get up into him, make him uncomfortable. Because we've seen him get 35 against Toledo. We've seen him what he can do. And he had 16 at half, and he had 2 in the second half. So that focus and more aggressive, I thought our guys responded to that. And then we wanted to put the pace up because they try to slow you down with pressing you and then zone, and then they'll kind of go zone to a man. Then they get you using a lot of the shot clock, and then they use a lot of the shot clock. And we just talked about getting stops and running and passing ahead and being way more aggressive to get the pace going. And that's what I think when we really opened up is when Bijan, Los, and Grant really got the pace going downhill. And we had multiple ball handlers in there able to spray it, and Grant was able to get loose that way as well.
Porter, the first start for Los.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why, and how happy are you with the way he responded?
I just thought it was time. He's been playing really well, and it was something that he's been in practice and in the games, and I think his minutes has been really good, and I just think it gives us another ball handler with Grant, and I think and I told Bijan, it's nothing about anything because you're a key thing. So I love where those guys are at. Startings, and I told CJ, stay ready. He's played games last year, this year, and we're going to need him, and we need to be deep. And I just thought maybe it'll help him get going a little bit better. And then I thought he responded great. I thought Los was really good. I mean, he had 11 points and 5 assists in his first start, but he had 5 assists, but he could have had about 10. He threw some dimes for some open threes that we just didn't knock down. So he's long, he sees it, takes some pressure off some things. I thought he guarded well. So it was just time, and I thought he responded really well.
Porter, you got 21 points combined from Sam and Tanner. They shoot 8 of 8 from the field. Just can you talk about their production and not only and what they've been doing as a 1-2 punch at that 5?
We really, we were trying to post up more, but the pace got a little bit more. But like in the first half, we had 6 post ups or 7. Jalen missed his, but Jacob was 1 for 1. Sam was 2 for 2, and Tanner was 3 for 3. We were 6 for 7 on post-ups. We're like, we've been able to, it's a strength of ours. I think I said it this morning on the radio. And they've been productive down there. Sam, on one little action, but I remember Bijan had a nice little drove it, and he threw it over the help on the roll, and Sam goes up and catches everything. He rewards the passer. It was a nice pass by Bijan, and Sam finished it. So I like where they're at. I want to continue to do that production. The game, a lot of people aren't posting up that much anymore. And I think we got some guys that can post up.
When did you tell Uzan that he was going to be starting tonight, and how well do you thought he and Grant played off each other well?
We talked yesterday about it. I met with everybody and just told them I was going to make the move. And I thought they played great together. And I thought Bijan, and I met with Bijan. I'm like, Bijan, don't take it. You are putting yourself in a position where he's really just going like this. I thought Bijan was super valuable tonight. And it just gives us multiple ball handlers. And I still think, I'm still trying to get Joe, and I still got a lot of confidence in CJ and Joe to really step up. But I just think Los and Bijan have really been valuable, been really playing well. And they play well together. Even any of the combinations, Grant and Los, Bijan and Grant, all 3 of them, Bijan and Los, to have multiple ball handlers in there, and they're knocking down shots together, and they spray the ball together. And if we can guard with that lineup and rebound, with the lineup, it's really good for us.
Do you think we're going to see Uzan in the lineup going forward, or do you want to rotate amongst the guards?
I'm sure that we're going to. With this next game is going to be like that, but I'm most likely, yeah. I'm assuming he's going to start because what we just had a good game.
You talked about turning up the tempo in the second half. You
Yeah.
guys were a lot better on the boards in the second half. How
Yeah.
much did that enable you to get out and run?
But we talked about it. What they were doing too is they're so long, is sometimes they just throw it up there and just go get it. They were driving baseline and shooting little floaters, and if it didn't go in, we were talking about those short, sometimes on a jump shot, you're fundamentally boxing out. But sometimes when they drive and shoot like a 10-footer, you migrate. So we were talking about their short floaters, short shots. When everybody's in the paint, you got to get in and be physical. I can't ask for over the back if you're not getting physical and boxing out. So I thought we boxed out better in the second half, and we just rebounded. And I always say it, the rebound is the admission ticket to the fast break. If you're rebounding, you can get going. And I thought that was why we got the pace going. We talked about it at halftime. Getting into Mitchell, rebounding, and getting the pace going. I mean, really, because they wanted you to play slow. And I thought our guys did it. I thought they really responded at the halftime.
Hey, Porter, Grant went 5 for 6 from deep, but the rest of the team wasn't able to find his touch too much. I mean, were you happy with the shot selection? Was it just a case of, obviously guys have been shooting well, just coming down to earth a little bit?
Yeah, I thought we were getting good shots. I mean, right in the beginning of the game, I know Jacob had a couple, Jalen had a couple. I thought Tanner hit a nice 3 in the second half. I think he only had 1 attempt, but I think CJ Nolan had a really nice shot from the corner. So yeah, I thought we were getting good shots. I mean, I think Bijan had a nice couple looks. I thought we had good looks. You know, right out of the gate, we ran this little action, and Grant went downhill and hit Jacob, wide open. I thought we were getting good shots. We left a couple threes on the table.
About a minute and a half in the second half, that press bothered you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You called time, you got Bijan back in there, and you guys drilled that. With that lineup, you should handle that press pretty well. You know, that should always be a lineup that can work, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is we weren't aggressive against it. If you look at the thing, I mean, Joe was in a spot where he dribbled into a trap, and then Grant wasn't too aggressive, and then we just talked like, hey, we went back with the lineup, we spread it out, and like, don't just slowly walk into the trap. We got to move it. We made an adjustment. We brought Sam up and caught it, and then we were catching a deeper outlet than right under the basket. So we did a couple little tweaks there, but the main thing is you just can't slowly walk up in the trap. Like 2 or 3 times we walked slowly in the trap. We said, hey, move it, advance it, space it, and just be way more aggressive. And that was that. But we did have a lull in there with that one lineup, and it was Grant, and then we didn't have another guard. We had a couple guard, but Los and Bijan weren't in.
You talked about how the team adjusted and improved in the second half, but how did Grant improve specifically to score 22 points in the second half?
I think when he gets going, I mean, you could just see he heats up, and you could just see it in his eye, and he's like that. We're going to see that a lot, where he can get cooking, and I've talked a lot about this. I almost said it under my breath. He made something out of nothing on a shot clock. He came it was on that out of bounds, that awkward out of bounds thing, and he went all the way around, came down and took an off balance shot, and that was great coaching. So he's a shot clock guy.
Any additional questions?
Yeah, that play's not going to be drawn up in any coach's clinic right there.
Thanks.
Sooner Scoop HD.